Good afternoon. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us today. We're excited to present our work on predictive estimated time of arrival modeling for merchandise rail cars developed in collaboration with Norfolk Southern. Before we begin, we'd like to get into some team introductions.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kai Quackenbush. I graduated with a degree in Business Information Technology, and I'm looking for job opportunities in data analytics and consulting.
I'm Mr. Park. I have an undergrad degree in cybersecurity management and analytics, and I'm also still exploring full-time opportunities in business.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kathleen Lay. I'm the team lead for our project, and I did my undergraduate degree here at Virginia Tech in Business Information Technology. And after this program, I will be working as a technical government consultant for Capgemini in the DC area.
Hi, I'm Erin Kelleher. I did my undergrad degree in marketing management, and after graduation, I'll be working with Booz Allen as a government consultant.
Hi, I'm Anna Pitts. I graduated with my degree in public relations, and I'll be joining Axtria in their Boston office to work as a consultant.
Before we begin, we'd like to thank the CBA team for all of their support throughout our entire project, as well as our sponsors, Woody and Beth, as well as our executive champ, Megan, and our faculty advisor, Dr. Andy Ernett. Last November, we had the opportunity to tour headquarters, visit various rail yards, as well as explore the training center. This gave us hands-on experience to connect our data to real-world operations. Moving into our problem statement, today, ETA predictions rely heavily on scheduled trip times, which don't always reflect what's happening across the network. And as a result, accuracy varies, making it harder to plan operations and provide reliable updates for Norfolk Southern customers. To start our project, we worked with over 43 million rows of data from 6 different data sources, including lane and network level metrics. We consolidated all of the information into a singular database so that we were better able to capture these data patterns. Now I'll pass it over to Erin to talk about our initial model.
Thank you, Kathleen. To start, we kept our scope small, just focusing on one machine learning model. And originally, we didn't think that was going to be the best approach, just since it's not going to capture lane level variability. So we decided to change and start adding additional machine learning models to help better capture these variabilities and the overall performance. This now leads us into our final process for our model. This process acts as a cycle. To start, it selects a singular lane, and then it will create and prepare key features. Some of these key features include a training and validation split of the data and a rolling average of our network metrics along with its original network metrics. After it's created and prepared all of these key features, the model will then be tested on 2 different data sources, which are the rolling average metrics and the raw data metrics. These 2 data sources will then be evaluated on a median baseline and 4 different machine learning models. This will result into 10 possible outcomes per lane. The model will then select the outcome combination that has the best performance metrics to then generate predictions that will be reported back into the SQL database. It will start back over with a new lane, and now I'll pass it off to Esther to go over the results of our model.
Thank you, Erin. This visualization compares prediction and schedule error across the top 5 highest volume lanes. For data privacy reasons, we have anonymized the lane names. Looking at the chart, the blue bars represent schedule ETA error, which is how far off the schedule was from the actual number of trip days, while the orange bars represent prediction error. Notably, from city A to B, where schedule error is around 3 days, the model reduces the error to under half a day. However, it's also important for us to be transparent. From city G to H, the model does not show significant improvement over the scheduled estimate. This shows that there's still opportunity for a model to improve to produce consistent improvements across all the lanes. Overall, this demonstrates that the model scales effectively, even to lanes with a high number of trips, delivering more reliable ETAs where it matters most. Finally, this visualization shows performance improvement before and after implementing a model across different time thresholds. At every threshold, we can see an increase in performance. On average, the model improves ETA accuracy by 50 percentage points, with the strongest gains at the on-time or early and maximum 24 hours late threshold. At this level, we can see performance increase from 67 to 82%, showing that the model is steadily shifting predictions closer to actual arrival times. These will show that the model is meaningfully improving ETA reliability, helping deliver more consistent and on-time arrivals. Now I'll pass it off to Anna to discuss our solution methods.
Thank you, Esther. So based on those results, this slide breaks down how our solution is structured. Starting with the what. We modeled ETAs at the individual lane level, tested multiple prediction methods per lane, and selected the best performing one. The so what is why this design matters. Our approach avoids forcing one method across lanes that behave very differently. The now what is about implementation. Our process is automated, so as data quality improves, our model can be updated without being redesigned. Now I'll move into what this means in terms of economic impact. So to begin, we created a return on investment framework reflecting our analysis. The initial investment is $35,000 with a payback period of less than 1 year. In terms of direct benefits, we calculated an estimated $12.4 million in annual benefit. This is based on 4 key drivers: 500,000 shipments a year, a 15% improvement in on-time performance, an average revenue of about $3,300 per car, and a 5% revenue impact factor. This is what gave us our estimated $12.4 million in annual benefit. In terms of indirect benefits, this will create fewer customer inquiries, lower service-related costs, and a better use of railcars and network capacity. This will lead to better customer trust and retention for Norfolk Southern. Now I'll pass it off to Kai to go over our recommendations.
Thank you, Anna. So based on our analysis, we have 4 main recommendations. Our first recommendation is to improve the accuracy of route-specific data to better capture the key drivers of delays. Our second recommendation is to address the gaps in data quality. Improving completeness will allow our model to cover more lanes while enhancing performance on existing lanes. Our third recommendation is to add a feature importance matrix to see which variables matter the most for each lane. This makes our model process easier to explain and more transparent. Our final recommendation is to expand to other traffic types more carefully. Start by researching similar use cases, validate the performance of each use case, and then scale it more broadly. One piece of advice we'd like to share with the next cohort is that strong teams trust one another and play to each other's strengths, which is a valuable lesson that will continue to benefit you throughout your professional careers. To close, our team was able to combine our strengths together to deliver a solution that improves ETA accuracy for both Norfolk Southern and their customers. Thank you all so much for listening, and we're happy to take any questions.
Do you think if you all had more time to work on the project, what would the first thing that you would improve be?
I would say one of the recommendations that Kai mentioned was adding a feature importance matrix. That was something that we tried to finish like at the end of our project, but we ran out of time to complete it. But just understanding what the key drivers of ETA would be very important to add.
Let's have one of the most impressive ROIs of all the capstone projects. How do you plan to see that through with Norfolk Southern in the future?
In our presentation, I think a big part that we mentioned was not putting one solution for all of the lanes, especially because our data was for merchandise data and there's so many other sectors that it could be expanded to. So the 12.45 may seem like a big number, but the railroad industry for Norfolk Southern alone is over $1 billion, and their merchandise sector is about 63% of that. So we kept it conservative at 5% revenue. And when looking to expand, we think that could be something greater.
How do you guys do with the project, right? Especially in handling missing data, or you guys don't have like a direction, a clear direction for Norfolk Southern.
I think a big part of handling and is being able to narrow our scope and being able to be open with our sponsor. I think when we're confused, we should always be open to ask questions to get those clear answers, and that was something that our sponsor was able to provide for us. Looking at it as a whole is very overwhelming at first, thinking this is something that they have been trying to solve for over 10 years. And being able to narrow it down to starting with just 3 lanes and making sure that that will work was able to help us be able to use it for all the lanes and handle.
Just to quickly piggyback, like, we had tremendous sponsors and there was a lot of data to clean at the start of our project, which having that assurance with our sponsors gave us more confidence to complete and solve and deliver an awesome solution for Norfolk Southern.
Yeah, and I just want to piggyback, like emphasize, sorry, third piggyback. But there was something like at the beginning of our project, we were afraid to ask our sponsors questions because we were like, oh, I don't know, should we already know this? But don't be afraid to ask those questions. They're very important and they're happy to help.
Yeah.